Hello future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is a video. I want to share this with you about a beautiful problem in statics and calculus. So I'll present two solutions to this. One is by means of statics and the other by means of calculus, particularly the technique on maxima minima. So here is the problem. A uniform rod of length 2.5 r rests inside a hemispherical ball of radius big R, as shown below. Neglecting friction, determine the angle theta corresponding to equilibrium. So let's solve now this problem. I'll present first the statics approach. So here is the original problem. I enlarged it a little bit so that you can also follow the labeling and the designation of the problem and the explanations as well as the construction of the free body diagram. So this rod is a three-force body. So we have three forces that are concurrent at this point here. So for RA, this is the radial line because the contact surfaces are frictionless or smooth. So RA will pass through the center of this hemispherical ball, which is circular in section also, and when extended, it will meet with the line of action of the weight. The weight, of course, because the bar is uniform, is acting at G, where G is the midpoint or the center of this bar. The length of the bar is 2.5 r, therefore, from one end A to the center of gravity, it should be half of 2.5 r, and that's 1.25 of r. So this is the given angle theta. So because this distance is 1.25 r and we have a right triangle form here, so the horizontal projection or the horizontal leg of this right triangle would be hypotenuse 1.25 r times cosine of theta. So that's why we have here designated 1.25 r cosine of theta. Likewise, the vertical leg from the center of gravity to this foot of the perpendicular is hypotenuse 1.25 r times sine of theta. Then from geometry, if we have a point on the circular arc, then we draw chords to the ends of the diameter. In other words, this peripheral or inscribed angle subtends the semicircular arc there, and because this is the center, the central angle is 180 degrees. Remember that this is half of 180 degrees. That's why this is a right triangle. And remember also that the hypotenuse of the right triangle is also the diameter of the circumscribing circle, which represents also this section of the hemispherical wall because it is a sphere and this is a great circle. So I hope that you know that already. So this is 90 degrees. So also because this is the radial line, that's the radius, centered to that end, that's the radius. So we have an isosceles triangle. So if this angle measure is theta, the angle that this inclined rod makes with horizontal is theta, this is also theta. Because this is an isosceles triangle, this is also theta. So the total angle that RA makes with the horizontal is theta plus theta, 2 theta, and the angle that the weight, the vertical, makes with the angle that RA rather makes with the vertical is equal to 90 degrees minus 2 theta. So that's 90 degrees minus 2 theta. While the angle of inclination theta is the angle between r sub c, which is perpendicular to the bar, that's perpendicular to the bar because it is frictionless, and the vertical and the weight, so that's theta also. So drawing the forced triangle beginning with the weight W, then this is RA, which makes with the vertical of 90 degrees minus 2 theta. This is R sub C, which makes with the vertical of theta, and therefore this remaining angle is 180 degrees minus theta minus the quantity 90 degrees minus 2 theta. So that's why that is 90 degrees plus theta. So if you add all these three angles, it should be 180 degrees, right? 90 degrees plus theta is 90 degrees plus 2 theta, then plus 90 degrees minus 2 theta, out 2 theta, so 180 degrees. So by sine law, W R sub C as to sine of 90 degrees minus 2 theta equals W as to sine of 90 degrees plus theta. Of course, 90 degrees sine of 90 degrees minus 2 theta, it's like sine of complement of 2 theta, that's cosine of 2 theta. So this is cosine 2 theta. Another way is you expand sine 90 cosine of 2 theta. So sine 90 times cosine of 2 theta is 1 times cosine 2 theta. So that's really cosine 2 theta plus, minus cosine of 90, which is 0 times sine of 2 theta. So the second term is 0 in the expansion of difference formulas. For the right side, sine of 90 degrees cosine theta, sin cos plus cosine. So sine 90 cosine theta, sine 90 is 1 cosine theta, cosine theta. So 1 times cosine theta. So this is cosine theta. Because the other term is plus cosine 90, which is 0 again, times sine of theta. So it's 0. So sine of 90 degrees plus theta is cosine theta. R sub c therefore is W cosine 2 theta divided by cosine theta. Having expressed R sub c in terms of W and theta, we sum up moments about A to solve for theta this time. So counterclockwise positive, R sub c times, by the way, this distance is 2R cosine theta. Can you see this right triangle here? That's a right triangle. The hypotenuse is the diameter 2R, and this angle is theta. Therefore, this horizontal leg of this right triangle, this leg here, is hypotenuse 2R times cosine of that angle theta. So that's why it's 2R cosine theta. So R sub c times moment arm 2R cosine theta is equal to the weight and the moment arm 1.25 R cosine theta. So we cancel out R, then substitute the value of R sub c. So this is 2 cosine theta remaining after we cancel R. And in the right side, we have W 1.25 cosine theta. So this is R sub c, W cosine 2 theta over cosine theta. Then copy 2 cosine theta equals W times 1.25 cosine theta. So simplifying, we can cancel W. We can cancel cosine theta from the left side of the equation. So the left side of the equation reduces to 2 cosine 2 theta, and the right side reduces to 1.25 cosine theta. Actually, there's only one variable left here, which is theta. For those students and those who are reviewing for their respective licensure exams, you can use your calculator, high-tech calculator here. You can solve for theta right away by shift solve. But those who are in college, maybe students are not allowed to use their high-tech calculator, that they need to use um, identities to simplify this equation. and quadratic formula. So that's good because it can develop your thinking skills, it can develop your memory, it will enhance your memory, and it's a good practice other than using the calculator right away. So that is only good for those who are taking or preparing for their licensure exams. They need to solve immediately the problem because the time is limited. But for those who are still in college, the time is enough for you to simplify this. So using the trigonometric identity for cosine 2 theta, there are so many. One is cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. Then if you replace sine uh, cosine squared theta by 1 minus sine squared theta, another identity is 1 minus sine squared theta. If you replace sine squared theta by 1 minus cosine squared theta instead, then this is the other identity. So I use this because the other side is also cosine theta. So this will lead to quadratic equation for cosine squared theta minus 1.25 cosine theta minus 2 equals 0. So using the quadratic formula, negative of b, and b is negative 1.25. So 1.25 plus minus square root of b square, negative 1.25 square minus 4. A is 4. C is negative 2 over 2a, 2 times 4. So simplifying, use plus for the radical because the radical is greater than this first term here. So it will be negative. So although the answer will still be positive, but we should use the positive value, 1.25 plus whatever the value of the radical here, then divided by 8. And it is 0.8804. So using your calculator, inverse cosine of 0.8804, that we will get 28.31 degrees. Then for the calculus approach, this is the uniform smooth rod. When the rod is at rest, it will occur when the center of gravity is farthest from the top. Just like when you place a ball here, the ball keep on rolling back and forth until such a time that it will be at rest at the lowest point. That lowest point will be the center of gravity of the ball will be farthest from the top. So we use the same idea that this rod here will be at rest when its center of gravity is farthest from the top. I denoted the distance of the center of gravity, vertical distance, to the top as y, and we will enlarge this figure here. This is now. Then we can have the right triangle here, right triangle, wherein that is y. Uh, let's formulate y into two ways because I already labeled this. This is 2r sine theta, this right triangle here, this is the hypotenuse. This is 2r sine theta because that's 2r for this right triangle and that angle is theta. This is the opposite. So this is hypotenuse 2r sine theta times cosine of theta to get this. So 2r sine theta cosine theta. And since we already defined this earlier from the statics approach, 1.25r sine theta, therefore the value of y is equal to 2r sine theta cosine theta, then minus 1.25r sine theta. Likewise, another way of computing or expressing y in terms of r and theta is from this triangle here. Since the distance from A to C is 2r cosine theta and the distance from A to G is 1.25 of r, therefore this length from G to C, which is this G to C, is 2r cosine theta minus 1.25r. If that's the hypotenuse, then y is hypotenuse sine of theta. So another way of calculating y to prove that the result is the same is quantity 2r cosine theta minus 1.25r then times sine of theta. So if you expand, that's 2r cosine theta sine theta, which is the same as that, then minus 1.25r sine theta, right? So just one expression, the convenient way for you to analyze length of y. So I go back to the first expression for y, and if we factor out r, so we have r times 2 sine theta cosine theta, and by trigonometric identity, that's sine 2 theta, then minus 1.25 sine theta. We now maximize y, because that's the idea, by differentiating y with respect to theta, so constant copy r. Derivative of sine 2 theta is cosine 2 theta, then derivative of 2 theta is 2, then minus 1.25 derivative of sine theta cosine theta, then equate to 0 because this is maxima minima problem. This represents slope, and the slope for maximum value of y, the tangent there is horizontal, so the slope is 0. So notice that when we equate the terms inside the parentheses, after transposing negative 1.25 cosine theta to the right, it becomes positive 1.25 cosine theta, and this is 2 cosine 2 theta. Take note that this equation is the same as this by statics approach. And therefore, if you are not allowed to use your calculator, high-tech calculator, you do the same thing and arrive at the same answer. So that's it for this video.